Okay, this is the sample space when we toss two dice. In other words, what could happen when you toss two dice? The first one could be a 1, the second one could be a 1. The first one could be a 1, the second one could be a 2, on and on. We could get a 5 and a 2. Notice the order here. We're differentiating between the first one being a 5, the second one is a 2, versus the first one is a 2 and the second one is a 5. So these are all the possible outcomes. How many are there altogether? Well, this is 6 by 6. There's 36 possible outcomes. Part A says, what is the probability that the sum of the two dice is a 6? Well, notice this diagonal right here, these add up to a 6. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a total of 5 that add up to 6 out of the total number, which is 36. So part A, the answer is 5 out of 36. What's the probability that the sum is not 6? Well, you could count them all the ones that are not adding up to 6, but it's easiest to do the complement. So 1 minus the probability we do get the sum is a 6 is going to give us the probability that the sum is not a 6. Well, 1 is 36 out of 36 minus 5 out of 36. 36 minus 5 is 31. So the probability that the sum is not a 6 is 31 out of 36. What's the probability that the sum is no more than 3? Well, the probability the sum is no more than 3. We don't want it more than 3, but it can equal 3. So that's the same thing as the sum is less than or equal to 3. So we don't want it more than 3, we want it 3 or less. So how many have a sum of 3 or less? These 3 right here. This sum is a 3, this sum is a 2, there's 3 altogether. So the probability that the sum is no more than 3 is 3 out of 36, and this reduces to 1 out of 12. Part D, what's the probability that the sum is odd? Well, these are odd. These add up to 5. These add up to 7, 9, and 11. If you count those all up, you end up finding 18 of them. So 18 out of 36 are odd, and that reduces to 1/2. So half of them are odd, half of the sum is even. And what is the last one? What is the probability that the sum is a 6 or a 7? So the probability the sum is a 6 or a 7. Well, these ones add up to 6. These ones, this diagonal adds up to 7. How many are there altogether? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So the probability is 11 out of our total number of outcomes, which is 36.